Hello. Thank you so much for joining in. Today, we are going to talk about AI. Yes, the technology that's taking over the world, the technology that's running most of our businesses, writing articles, creating content. But today, we will look into the segment where AI is creating ripples. I would want to introduce, or rather invite, Manish Garg, founder VE3. Manish, thank you for joining us from London.
Thanks, Nabomita. Hello, everyone. So let me just share my screen so that I can introduce you to the VE3. Thanks, Nabomita. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Manish Garg, and I'm delighted to represent VE3, a leading AI consultancy firm and a sponsor of this webinar. Today, I have the privilege of sharing with you our vision, expertise, and the transformative potential of artificial intelligence. As you all know, AI is no longer confined to the realms of science fiction or academic research. It has become a powerful tool, driving innovation and reshaping industries across the globe. At VE3, we recognize the immense value that AI can bring to businesses, organizations, and society as a whole. That's why we are passionate about helping our clients harness the true power of AI and navigate the complexities of this transformative technology. As an AI consultancy firm, our mission is twofold. We aim to demystify AI and make it accessible to businesses of all sizes. We understand that AI can seem overwhelming and complex, but we firmly believe that it should be approachable and practical. Our team of experts work closely with our clients to understand their unique challenges, goals, and opportunities. And through a collaborative approach, we develop tailored AI strategies that align with their vision and enhance their competitive advantage. Secondly, we strive to unlock the full potential of AI by driving innovation and pushing the boundaries of what is possible. Our team is comprised of top-notch AI researchers, data scientists, and engineers who are at the forefront of cutting-edge AI technologies. We believe in not only solving existing problem, but also identifying untapped opportunities for our clients to create new value. We help our clients right from comprehensive AI strategies to implementation of AI solutions, and then to scaling up to build new products and services to tap new markets and improve customer experience. VE3 has developed deep domain expertise across various sectors, including finance, healthcare, manufacturing, retail, and more. The industry-focused approach enables us to provide targeted solutions that addresses the unique needs and nuances of different sectors, delivering maximum value for our clients. VE3 is committed to ethical and responsible AI practices. We prioritize fairness, transparency, accountability in all our AI solutions and strategies. We adhere to industry standards and guidelines to mitigate biases, protect data privacy, and ensure that AI systems are trustworthy and reliable. By leveraging AI to its fullest potential, we can create a future that is smarter, more efficient, and inclusive. At VE3, we firmly believe that AI is a tool for augmenting human capabilities rather than replacing them. And in conclusion, we are here to be a trusted partner in navigating the AI landscape. Our team of experts is ready to collaborate with you and understand your unique needs and develop AI solutions that drive tangible results. Together, let's embrace the transformative power of AI and shape a better future. It's my pleasure to present this webinar to you. And with that, I will now hand over back to Nabomita and start with the panel introductions and discussions.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you so much for the warm introduction about VE3. Yes, an AI partner. We would be discussing and trying to understand how they are creating a difference, how they can create further difference. But before that, allow me to introduce our great speakers that I'm so excited to hear. Allow me to introduce Kailash Kulkarni.
Yeah, thanks, Nabomita. Thanks, Manish, and for VE3 to invite me for this discussion. I'm personally looking forward to it because, I believe that technology changes so fast in today's day and age that, every day is a new day and we learn a lot every day. A quick update about me: 33 years of work experience, out of which 28 years is in financial services. I started selling trucks at the beginning of my career and then moved on to financial services. I believe if you're in sales and marketing, you can choose the product and you can sell it. I'm a little bit of an adventure junkie. I like to do all kinds of stuff like bungee jumping, skydiving, etc. That's on the riskier side of life. On the investment side of life, I am a little above average risk taker. And I'm very passionate about this industry, the asset management of mutual funds, as it's called, simply because I think we bring genuine value to the lives of every individual investor. One of the famous things that people have asked me is that I don't have money, I can't invest. And I keep telling them that from the money that you have, if you are able to do 0.5% or 1% more, that is also investments. And I truly feel blessed that I'm in this industry. So, and AI, I think, is going to change the whole world, including our industry. And like I said, if you're not up to date on AI, then I think you will soon become a prehistoric animal like the dinosaur. So looking forward to having this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kailash. We will continue with the discussion. But before that, allow me to introduce Silvia.
It's fantastic to be part of this panel. So, I'm Silvia Mensdorff-Pouilly. I run the corporate and international banking team for EMEA for FIS, who I hope many people on this call will know as one of the biggest fintechs globally. And we provide a lot of solutions across the globe. My personal involvement and Kailash, I loved your introduction and your commitment to wealth creation. You know, in order to create wealth, in order to do trade, we have to move money. And in order to move money, we need to use the payment infrastructure. And that is a big passion of mine. I think the ability to move money securely and effectively between humans, between corporations across the globe, within countries, really makes our world a better place. And the impact that artificial intelligence will have on decisioning and automation, and playing the avatar for us is going to be super interesting. So I'm very interested in this conversation. My background is actually in organic chemistry, so just watch out, because if I don't make it in fintech, I can always go Breaking Bad. Back to you, Nabomita.
With that, I introduce Amber, our next speaker.
Thank you very much for having me on this forum, and thank you for your generous heading the corporate legal compliance with Aditya Birla Capital Limited. Been having almost 22 years experience in the field of compliance, regulatory, risk management, covering all the financial services, IPR, IT, dispute resolutions. So I've been quite actively working with Aditya Birla Capital for the last 15 years, out of my 22 years of careers, and I've worked in different lines of businesses and led various digital transformations in my compliance function, creating ISO standards as well, and bringing a lot of innovations in legal compliance processes for providing assurance to the management. Fintech and new age technology law I follow quite closely, and I'm also supporting the data privacy implementation framework at my holding level. I'm a certified diploma in cyber laws, apart from being a law graduate and uncertified arbitrator from Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. I've done an advanced certification in blockchain technology also. So how to integrate the current processes and being in the through a new technology base, and have been advising businesses on these areas. So I will be happy to part of this conference and forum, and happy to help with my thoughts and what we have been doing in terms of AI in the area of financial services, which is one of the leading areas where there are many use cases. So happy to hear, and glad to be with you all.
Thank you so much, Amber. Thank you so much. Now we move on with our first question. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. The first question, we start with Kailash. Kailash, obviously we will request all our speakers to join in eventually. But Kailash, the first question to you: you being a CEO, as a business head, as the backbone to the company, how do you see AI being used right now? Yes, we are using it in fraud detection. We are using it in certain kind of prevention. But in terms of creating new products, creating intelligent products, I know you have great idea about it. And as a business leader, I can't wait to hear you. As a CEO, please do share your view and how in your journey within your organization and within the products that you use, you see AI being implemented and used.
So Nabomita, we essentially straddle what we call the retail market. So anybody who has 500 rupees or more comes and invests in our mutual funds. And when we look at the number of people who are investing with us, it goes upward of around, you could say 2.2 million or 22 lakhs number of investors that we have today. There are other fund houses who have 30 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 1 crore investors. So when you're talking at scale and mass, at the same time, the number of transactions that you do per day is humongous. If you do not automate at the back end, you will just collapse and die, because our industry is day to day. Our markets close at 3:30 on the equity side and 5 p.m. on the fixed income side. And it is expected that by the end of the day, everybody knows what the value of their investment is. All the people who have given us money, so that next day morning, they get an account statement which tells them exactly how much they've earned or how much they've lost for that day. But these are long-term investments, so nobody really tracks it day to day. But it is a requirement by law that we put up something called a net asset value. Now, given the sheer scale and size and the thousands of crores of money which comes in and goes out on a daily basis, you have to use technology to streamline processes. Otherwise, two things are going to happen. And the first one is actually scarier. The first one is actually customer complaints. And if any business in today's day and age wants to survive, customer is right at the forefront of it, and you have to do everything based on what the customer needs and customer wants. So if your customer service goes for a toss, then you might as well shut shop and go home. So it is so important to have that in place and have that technology in place to ensure that your customers feel that they are getting a seamless service. Second is there's a whole concept of unitization, etc., which happens at the back end. And there's a lot of blockchain, there's a lot of machine learning, various other things that we are putting in to ensure that this scale is manageable. At peak, we have handled volumes of around 4 to 5 lakh transactions in a month. And when you say a month, you're talking of effectively about 20 working days in a month. So if you're doing in 20 working days, where majority of the processing starts only by 5:30 p.m. in the evening and has to get over by 9 p.m. at night, you're talking of 20 lakh transactions in 4 hours for 20 days. That's the kind of sheer scale you're talking about. More importantly, I think as we are going ahead, costs are going to be very critical to any organization. And managing costs is as important as generating new business, because it's actually a win-win for the organization. And to give you a very simple example that I can quote is that we have about 200 sales team which targets investors, and maybe we get about 100,000 new clients in a particular time frame. At the same time, if I go back into history, because we are more than a 20-year-old company, as HSBC Mutual Fund, we have another 30 lakh customers or 3 million customers who at some point of time tested and came to us, and those customers have gone away. Now, you need to do data analytics on this, and AI is the only way you can really cull out the data to know whom to target, what messaging do we send, so that you can win back those customers. And if you have a good solid AI and a good data team to help you, possibly a 2 or 3 member team can get you 100,000 new customers coming back to you. So the difference is between an offline model and virtually a technology-led win back of customers. And that's how powerful AI is, as I can see going forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kailash, I mean, you started talking about data. Trust me, there are so many questions which are popping up in my mind. But then, yes, I can just ask questions to you. I would want to hear from Silvia on the same area. Silvia, if you wish to add something on this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I completely agree with Kailash with the impact that a positive impact that AI can have on our business models. Now, when you think about payments, most people would think about artificial technology in conjunction with and machine learning in conjunction with fraud detection. And we've been using in the industry, we've been using machine learning and AI for fraud detection for a very long time. But actually, I think with the newest developments in artificial intelligence, which are much more at the forefront of actually being able to impersonate us as humans or as corporations, to where we can automate decision making and even more complex decision making and communication methods with the AI, we really need to rethink what we're doing in the payment space, because we're very soon going to be in a situation where the AIs are going to be placing the payments, where the AIs are going to make decisions on whether that transaction was correct and then automating chargeback mechanisms. There is a great example out there where, ChatGPT was capable of effectively arguing that a parking ticket wasn't valid and won the case. So we need to collectively think about what the impact of AI will be, both in a positive sense, but also from a regulatory and business sense. And then, kind of going back to fraud detection, just as we are going to be using AI for good in the payment space, be absolutely sure that the fraudsters are going to take hold of this technology and are going to use that as well to try and find new and creative ways of getting money out of the payment processing through illegitimate chargebacks, for example. So there's a lot that needs to be done and considered as AI develops. And I think you said it at the beginning, Nabomita, if you don't understand AI, then you're going to be really held back. So it's critical for businesses across the globe to think broadly about how AI will impact our businesses. It's a very exciting time to be part of the industry.
Thank you so much. With this, I would request Amber. Silvia said something extremely important, vital rather, related to this question, that technology impersonating human beings. This is probably the flavor of the entire discussion. When this becomes a reality, how do we maintain the security, the legal standards, and keep everything under control, keep everything safe for everyone to use it? So from the legal and the safety guidelines, I would want to hear from you.
So, so thank you. As you rightly said by previous speakers, by Silvia, and well, data becomes the very critical touch point in the entire AI-driven space. And through use of algorithms, you can predict, you can also create directional, you can also understand the patterns. And that's where the AI technology really comes into help. And machine learning, you can develop those patterns, you can have an early warning signals. There are several cases which are prevalent in the financial services. Mr. Kailash touched based upon customer experiences. Silvia touched upon the payments. But you specifically talk about some of the use cases within financial services. For example, in insurance, this can be used towards early fraud detection for claims. It can be used towards underwriting For example, we were recently evaluating a vendor which through the scanning of the face, they can predict in terms of the probability of claims that can come. Because through the face reading of and using those technologies or AI, they also read various social media profiles that you are having, and they kind of predict. Similarly, in case of loans, also there is a when they apply for loan, the AI can be used by verifying the credentials of the person using all touchscreen data points, not only the CIBIL score, but in terms of how you have how do you conduct yourself in public domain, social media, and all those. So some of these things are being used in underwriting stage, and the reason is that more and more these are getting popular in financial services, because like we are getting a lot of new tech companies who are promising to deliver groceries in 5 minutes and 10 minutes. There are financial services who are also under pressure to do the client claims processing in, say, within hours, grant approval of loan within few minutes. You would have seen many advertisement where say that apply for loan and get in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So in the back end, a lot of digital loan companies are using some of these data, some of these technologies for faster processing of your information and doing the credit risk assessment or claim risk assessment kind of thing. Also on the frauds front, also companies which are dealing with large number of data, AI and algorithm-driven machine learning tools are helping companies to identify some of these events of potential fraud that can come. Within our financial services and where we have been working, we have done some kind of use cases which are supporting in the decision making for those aspects. Now coming back, data governance and data integrity also becomes very, very critical when you. Now India, as you know, that we don't have a data privacy policy as of now, and still in the last stages of implementation. And as recently as that last week, the cabinet has approved the draft, the personal data protection bill. So we'll likely to see that in the coming sessions. So as of now, there is no bill as such. So, but the issue of in terms of ensuring data governance, data integrity, very, very critical. So whatever the AI-driven or algorithm-driven design structure that you make, it's very important that those elements of regulatory parts are also very taken care, whether through an anonymization of data or through masking or through restricting the sharing for a limited purpose only. Or you are trying to enhance the data through use of third-party resources. So building those legal compliance aspects are very, very critical in terms of maintaining the data governance and data integrity. If you are working within those, four walls of that, for example, if you are using one example is for Aadhaar-based, where these are requirement, for masking of the data, and there are separate Aadhaar regulations which has come for maintaining the privacy of the customers and all that. If you are using those things and implementing as part of your overall data or AI, those governance principle has to be kept into mind. So whenever you are designing any AI module, any tools, data governance and data integrity are two very critical. So along with your legal team and your CISO, both have to work together. And at the design stage itself, this has to be taken well care of.
So, I mean, so true. Amber, thank you so much for bringing up examples as crucial as Aadhaar, including in financial products. But before we dig a little more into it, I have a question for Silvia. Silvia, this is primarily from the point of view that you have been probably been a leader too. Considering the rise of CBDCs, how do you see the crypto blockchain and AI converging in the financial and payment sector?
Interesting question, right? And I think over the years I've been in the industry, I see these questions come up as new technology arises, and there's a question of which technology is more important, or how will these technologies, and I actually think that in this particular case, it's not a question of one or the other, or one being more important than the other. I think central bank digital currency is a next evolution of money, a more virtualized, more potentially pliable form of money, and that's going to have a huge impact on our industry. How we then apply artificial intelligence to the way that we transact is another way that there will be impact. So I think there will be things where the technologies come together, but I don't think they're per se competing with each other. I would though say that the speed at which artificial intelligence is starting to impact all our lives, not just my particular area of expertise, is a speed that is unseen. It's anywhere before, and it's also something that is much harder to control, because when you think about CBDCs, those are legal and can be regulated, whereas artificial intelligence is putting a lot of processing power into people's hands in a way and in a part of an industry that is currently not regulated. We're only the regulators far behind when it comes to that. So it's going to be a really interesting way to see this play out.
So, Silvia, we will still want to hear you on money on metaverse. Since you already mentioned AR and since you already mentioned the virtual world, so money on metaverse, yes, please. We need to hear you on that.
Yeah. So here's my and this may be a bit of a dissenting opinion, right? So the metaverse is kind of the next iteration of the internet. Whether it will actually be the metaverse as it is defined now, or a progression of that, is just a further progression of the virtual world. I think it's going to be a progression of the virtual world where we're going to be able to incorporate ourselves. What I mean with that is, be that virtual avatar and actually feel like as if we're inside that virtual reality much more than we are today. Our children, my children play lots of games. I should probably do it as well. Already are starting to have that experience. Now, the way that I think about artificial intelligence there is, I find the word incorporation, and Amber, with your legal background, I would be very interested. The word incorporation and corporation is a very interesting word, right? Because corpus means body in Latin. And so from a legal perspective, when we incorporate a business, we're giving that business a form, a body, which then we can apply legislation and regulation to. Okay? I think as we develop these avatars in the virtual realm, we can then almost incorporate them, give them life through artificial intelligence. Okay, and they are going to be out there representing ourselves, representing as persons, representing our companies, and acting and making decisions for us. Okay, that's a huge realm of opportunity, a huge realm of risk, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that develops. The problem, though, is, right, you can't reverse something like that. And once it's out there, it's going to mean that the person that doesn't do this is going to have less presence. The corporation that doesn't do this is going to have less presence. The speed at which we transact is only going to increase. And we really need to think about what that means and how we, if we even can, control it. I hope that made a bit of sense. It feels quite almost science fiction-y, but that's, I think, the point that we're at. I think we're going to quickly step into what feels very much like science fiction to us at this point in time.
So true. Thank you, Silvia, for mentioning that. Yes, definitely, this is science fiction. This sounds like a science fiction today, but may not be 10 minutes or 10 hours from now. We do not know what is waiting to happen. So, and since you already mentioned the regulators and Amber, Amber, I would take the same question to you. Yes, just the way she mentioned that money in metaverse is going to be a lot controlled by the people and less by the regulators, because yes, the wave with which this is progressing, regulators are yet to catch up. However, in terms of both India and world, how do you see this entire future being made possible? Not probably at the pace we are expecting it to, but probably at a much much real pace. How do you see it from a regulator point of view, from a legal
Yeah.
standpoint?
So, very interesting question, and actually very debatable topic as well. And I think people not only in financial services but worldwide are debating on the use of crypto-based backed, currencies, CBDCs currencies, blockchain-based currencies. And in India, you would have also seen the way the regulations have evolved. Uh, just for the knowledge of everyone, because people have joined from various locations. In India, per se, worldwide, I'm not touching, but India per se, blockchain-based currencies as of now are not considered as a legal tender by RBI, the central bank. And we have seen in last 2 years various cases being going up to even Supreme Court, on not permitting such kind of transactions through these based currencies, crypto-based currencies, and blockchain-based currencies. Now, what is happening globally, if you look at it, and RBI has its own reasons and all those. So globally, what is happening and what the trend that we are seeing, and in India also we are seeing that now central bank itself are coming with their own, blockchain-based currencies, what we call as CBDCs, central bank-based digital currencies, which we call as CBDCs, and these are being now accepted as a legal tender, and they work very much similar. They are based on blockchain technology itself. They are different from cryptocurrencies. They are there because we have to understand further the technology. So I'll not get into this because they are a bit technical in terms of So all are so cryptocurrencies and blockchain and CBDCs, while their base is in terms of blockchain technology the same, but they are different in many other aspects. Now CBDCs, in the interest of time, I'll just cover quickly. The CBDCs, you will see definitely rising trends, because these are legal tenders. These are supported by governments of the respective companies, and these have been legally recognized. In last year, March, December, India also has introduced that. So personally, if you feel from Indian scenario, I feel that these kinds of currencies, digital transaction is going to increase. Regulators, now RBI has given a formal acceptance to that. Now, coming back to other currencies, which are crypto-based currencies or blockchain-based currencies, which are being actually used. These are worldwide, they are being used. There are countries which have recognized them, like Brazil have recognized, some US countries have also recognized blockchain-based currencies. There you have been reading news is that people are now do well transactions in this. But there are issues of security. There are issues of AML, prevention of money laundering, terrorist financing, because the ultimate beneficiary and the person using, they are not very clear. The KYC is issues and also. But despite that, there are blockchain-based trading exchanges which has come up in India. They are doing it. They are keeping their server outside India because they don't want any regulatory, supervision on them. And now they are themselves are also doing KYC AML. So that if any investigation happens, they are in a position to demonstrate about the KYC being done for the customers which are using that. But still a long way go. These are evolving, and I feel that that's my personal view, that going forward it will start becoming more popular and popular. My thumbs up, being from regulatory background, I will definitely be more conservative. So my thumbs up will be for the CBDCs that will come worldwide. And because that gives a lot of security to the customers and people who are trading, compared to blockchain-based technologies and cryptocurrencies. But there is another parallel market which is going on. People are using it, and it's also very quite popular. I don't see interchange happening between CBDC and crypto-based currencies, which is happening. we can see convergence happening between CBDCs and the actual legal tender of money and the hard cash. There, that facility is possible because these are centrally backed currencies. Now, coming back on the securities, also there are similar concerns which are coming where security-based tokens are being also issued. And this has taken a very great leap in countries like Singapore, Bangkok, where there are also exchanges and their capital market regulator are also promoting. So that what happens that it works like a initial token money where you ready to invest in a company. The company is not ready to give you any shares at that point of time. They don't have money, so they issue a ICOs tokens to you. These tokens then definitely at the right stage when these companies become mature and you invest money through cryptocurrencies in exchange of IOCs, and thereafter and when they reach that particular stage, you can encash those in form of your cryptocurrency in the back. So this is something which is getting prevalent in the capital market, in the securities market. In India, SEBI has still not permitted these kinds of transactions because they are not qualifying as securities. But I know many people who are actually funding these, and they have set up a good business model in Singapore, in Bangkok, and in those areas, Southeast Asian, apart from US and all. So these are the trends which are likely to come. Now coming on the metaverse and aspects and all those, we have also seen transaction happening in India. It's still not becoming prevalent, but definitely in other countries it is permitted. You can do a metaverse, the transaction based on blockchain in currency. I would see that these things evolving over a period of time, and slowly the law will also evolve them to regulate in the time to come.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amber. Can't thank you enough for that example, because trust me, the asset management part, which I wanted to ask even Kailash about it, since he is a CEO and he loves to make people rich. The asset management part is where the entire technology is enabling people, right? Just as Silvia said that in the virtual world, people have more control over the money more than the regulators. Kailash, to you, in a world like that, as a CEO, where do you see AI enabling the business as an opportunity, and how do you see AI solution providers such as VE3 creating such kind of a platform, such kind of a product, and